What's up, ladies and gents? So today I'm going to be doing another review. This one's going to be on Green Day's Uno. Now, before I get into the review, I just want to state that Uno Dos Tres should be considered a triple album, not a 9th, 10th, and 11th album. And this is why. So apparently the band stated at the time when these albums were coming out that they are a triple album. However, they had to be released individually. Then on top of that, for the record label, they didn't count as one album, and another album in their contract. They counted as one full album, but released separately. I also feel, looking back on it now, and with the release of Green Day's new album, Father of All Motherfuckers, which just came out today, I feel that what happened with these three albums is one of the main reasons why the band, for speculation, may be no longer going to be on Reprise and their contracts up because of what happened with this and moving forward. Of course, that's speculation. That may or may not be the case. We'll see what happens. So with Uno, the one track that a lot of us heard that was online, the band had played it live at a show that the public wasn't able to see at the time, and somebody had recorded it. It was called Stay the Night. At least that's what we were calling it, but it wasn't official. And I wouldn't be surprised if the band had saw that it ended up online and nobody was taking it down, that they said, you know what, it seems like the fans would like it, so we're going to put it on the album. They ended up putting it on the album. So with this album, it didn't feel like anything was a progression outside of Kill the DJ. Kill the DJ was the song where it is very similar to a Clash song I've heard on Sendista. However, and I forget the name of the track. Forgive me, Clash fans. I'm sorry. I just forget the name of it. So it was very similar to that, at least in the music flow and stuff, not necessarily the lyrics. However, the rest of the album was really just a punk rock album. There wasn't anything that was outside of like taking new ground. It was just a rock record. There wasn't anything where they were trying to go this way or that way. It was just, here's a rock album. Take it for what it is. So the songs, they were all great. I felt my only gripe with this album is not the album. I felt that releasing Oh Love as the first single for the album was not a good idea. I don't know who made the call on that. Personally, it should have been Nuclear Family, or even Stay the Night should have been the first track to release to say, hey, we're back. Here's our new music. Because Oh Love should have been a single, but not the first single. It should have been like the third single or the fourth single, maybe the second single. Maybe it should have been two rock songs and then more of a ballad rock song. However, that wasn't the case, and, the rest is history. So with the tracks, Nuclear Family, actually, there was a show that they did probably a year prior, and it was really muffled, but somebody got a record, and we could kind of hear what the music sounded like, and we couldn't hear the lyrics. It was just really blum, 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 really muffled. However, for us, the fans, we could decipher how the music sounds, so that was promising. Like, okay, this is more like it's going to be a good album. On what level is it going to be? Is it going to be AI? More likely not. Is it going to be another Dookie? No. Is it going to be a 21st Century, a Kerplunk? No. I think it's just going to, like, for me at the time, I was just like, I'm excited. This is just going to be a rock album. Take it for what it is. I don't think it was going to be anything trying to take some leap and bound. And then as the band talked about it, they mentioned that Uno was like the coming record, I guess you could say, going to the party, and Dos is the party, and then Trey is like waking up after the party kind of thing. And later Billy would say these songs were just made for the point of being made kind of thing. There wasn't really very much thought into it, which I don't feel hurt the album. I just feel maybe it should have. I do feel that it should have been a triple album as a whole album, but it wasn't. And I do feel that maybe you could have trimmed the fat on, maybe take out 2 or 3 songs on each album. Maybe had made it a 30 track album. Looking back on it, because again, I didn't have any issues with it. I do like with every band I like, there's certain songs I like, my favorites, and then certain songs that I listen to, and then there's like that mess song. Again, outside of, with Warning, Hold On, I didn't really care for that, but this album I didn't have any tracks for that. If I would say a track that's kind of like that, I would say Troublemaker, and I just didn't care for how the way the song goes. It's not literally the lyrics, and then the chorus. I'm like, it's not terrible, but I'm like, whatever. I didn't really care for it that much. So, for my rating, I would give this album probably 4.5. 4.5 out of 5. Yeah, 4.5 out of 5. I would give this album because there wasn't any tracks I have to skip. I'm just like, what the hell was this? Every song I really liked. My favorite top 5 songs is Nuclear Family, Let Yourself Go, Lost of Control. Lost of Control really reminds me of Insomniac too. Then Stay the Night and Carpe Diem. And it's funny too because I actually like the first 4 tracks are in my top 5, And it's not to say the rest of the album's not good. It's just, I'm more of the aggressive side of the band, music. Looking back on it, I think the album would have got a lot more play, would have got a lot more recognition if things hadn't happened with Billy, that outburst that happened at the iHeartRadio situation. I think the album probably would have done a lot better in regards to recognition and how it holds up, because it's not a bad album. And then when you listen to it from Uno Dos Tres, there are some tracks that maybe that they should have cut out. However, when you listen to it as a whole, it's not bad. It's just, it just has its moments where it's just like, okay. Oh, that is the other thing. Maybe the guitars could have been turned up just a little bit. Maybe just have some little more distortion in there. Because it felt like they were too low. And I would mean with the gain and stuff, I would say that. However, the songs were great. The playing was great. Oh, and that's the other thing. This was the only time that the band was a 4-piece. At this time, Jason White became official 4th member of the group. He recorded with the band for Uno Dos Tres. He was part of the documentary. So this is where it was four members. And Jason technically is the 4th member of the band. He's been with the band since really live with them since Warning. So it wasn't a surprise that it became official. However, then after the trilogy was done, or the triple album was done, and Revolution Radio comes along, he goes back to just being a touring member. However, I think with that happening, I think it was just maybe Jason didn't want the spotlight. Maybe he liked to be behind the scenes, like, here, I'm a tour, and I don't have to have all that pressure of writing. I don't have to be in that. I think that's probably why he stepped back and just said, I'll maybe this was the time where he was like, it's cool, but guys, I don't think this is for me. I think touring with you guys and being behind the scenes is good. I think the asking questions of him and interviews and stuff, I don't think he was really equipped for that. So, but this was the first and only time we've seen so far in their career that they actually it was a 4-piece and not a 3-piece end. So, with that being said, see you on the next one.